Hi guys, welcome to Warhammer Workshop. I'm Jeff Dubois, and I'm here to present to you with a kind of a treat, something that Games Workshop sent to me and some of the other guys here at the network. And I think you've all been anticipating this a lot. We've all seen it at Adepticon in preview, whether in person or online. I am talking about the Necromunda expansion, well, not expansion, brand new game, Ash Waste. Now, I don't think you're quite prepared for how much of a monster this box is. Let me just show you. This is Necromunda Ash Waste. It is thick. When I say it's thick, I need to compare it. The last time we've got a box set from Necromunda was Necromunda Hive War. Here's a little comparison. It is almost 3 times as thick as Hive War. And you have to remember, Hive War came with 2 warbands. It came with Escher, it came with Delaques, and a bunch of scenery. So it wasn't a small box in and of itself. And yes, Ash Waste comes up to almost 3 times as much. We know there's scenery, we know there's 2 warbands, and we know there's rules books. It's basically the same content. I am dying to know why it is such a heavy monster of a box. Obviously, I don't know what the price points are for this. This is really just us checking out the content. As you can see, you've got all the basic stuff in there. You've got the content, you've got the game board, some models, scenery that looks epic and a lot of fun. Obviously, there's a couple of more things. You've got the vehicles, you've got those little tractors, you've got the ticks, the Ash Waste Wanderers tick riders. But I can't justify how this would account for this increased thickness. So I'm very excited to get into this. I hope you guys are too. You just knife this open, and I'll show you on camera once I've got it on. I haven't even popped it open. I haven't even removed the plastic wrap. I want to keep this for the video. There we go. So, there we are. Necromunda Ash Waste. Thickest box I've ever seen. I don't think even any of the Kill Team boxes is remotely this size. So, a bit of a vacuum seal going on. There we go. Well, right off the bat, I can tell you that the scenery looks like it's a lot bigger than I estimated it would be. Those little building on stilts look like they're massive. I expected them to be maybe 2/3 what this is going to come out to be, but you get a lot. These are very intricate and complex sets. Like, I don't know if you remember from Hive War. I mean, I can bring it up real quick. But the scenery from Hive War was fairly simplistic. Like, relatively small sprues. They're just walls that you can put and create a maze with. This is a lot more involved, a lot more detailed. You've got these canopies, you've got the little junk piles. This is going to be, honestly, this is going to be a lot of fun to paint and build, but I don't think this is the kind of from box to play set that Hive War was. I don't think you go from buying this box. I'm still taking out scenery sprues, by the way. This is a massive amount. Like, I get it now. I understand. This is where the thickness comes from. It's all this scenery, and just for perspective, these are all scenery sprues I've taken out of this box so far. So yeah, I think that even though this is its own box, its own game, especially if you compare it to some earlier box games from Warhammer, say things like Battle for Macrage that came with a crashed harvest lighter and a couple of props. This is so much more. This is easily the most scenery I've seen in a box set for a box game so far. It even comes with a lot of these, I think we've seen similar things, but little tentacles and other trash and detritus, some kind of objective marker or maybe a turn marker here. And of course you've got the warbands themselves, which compared to the massive amount of plastic I just pulled out for the actual scenery, is almost pathetically small. You've got seem to have the Ash Waste Wanderers here. And they might be mixed up, but you can clearly see the carapace of the ticks, which between you and me, I think I'm going to be painting one of those just to showcase. And oh my, that's something else I didn't really kind of put into perspective is the sheer size. Like, look at the length of this leg on the tick. This is a lot bigger. Like, these are massive animals compared to what I estimated it would be. These seem, on the photograph, these seem to be a little smaller than this. This is good news. Like, I like the idea of these mounts being kind of monstrous. I suppose somewhere in there are the, yeah, you've got the pieces for the buggies. It's a little, oh great, my screws are mating. Into plastic husbandry soon. I'll pour it apart and break it. Oh, there we go. So yeah, I don't think, it's kind of hard to see what this, I mean, we know what it's going to look like because it's kind of photography we got. But yeah, these are definitely the little buggies. I painted a ton of orc buggies for Adepticon recently. I painted 14 buggies and 2 trikes, so I'm in no mood to do more of that. So I'll definitely be doing the ticks in this. I'm an old-time OG Warhammer player from 3rd edition, so you can imagine that seeing some actual plastic templates elicits all sorts of mixed emotions. Some good, some bad. I played Tyranids, especially back then, so seeing any of these 2 markers just sort of give me the creeps bit. This meant a whole lot of Tyranid Gaunts were going to die. And then this is something, like, I probably mentioned this a few times in the past, like on various podcasts. The thing that Games Workshop's been doing by having these little pieces of cardboard, which, I mean, it's just advertising, etc., but the fact that they were using this to separate all the sprues and models, which can be damaging to books and anything paper, from this aforementioned books and paper, it delights me. Like, 'cause I don't think they used to do that, and I've seen a lot of games do this kind of thing where they'll just throw a bunch of models in bags or just raw, and your rule book's right on top of it, and this gets all crushed in shipping, and I hate it. Like, you get some scratched book, like, it's brand new and it's already damaged. This is a standard paper map for the game map. I'm just nothing to write home about. I'm sure it's very pretty. I'm not going to unpack it right now. Then you have the Ash Waste assembly book. It's a thick one. There's a lot in there. I'm assuming, well, right off the bat, you get the ticks, which, yeah, when you look at it, like, these are big. I'm not unhappy about that. And then you get all the other things. I want to find the page. There we go. Buggies. Looks like they're fairly simple assembly. I hate painting wheels though, so I'm going to be putting off doing these guys for a long time. But I want to paint one of the ticks just to give it a shot, and I might do some Ash Waste Wanderers. Because here's the thing, right? And this is where this next piece, the rule book, again, this is a massive one. It's one of those high quality hardcover, comes with a page holder. I missed one some of the books. I can't remember exactly which book. There was a 40K book that came with, I think, 3 of them. It might have been a deluxe collector's edition of a codex, and I absolutely love the idea of having more than one bookmark, so you could really just keep track of various aspects of the rules you were looking up. Now, the question I have, which this book is going to answer for me, is, sure, we know we can play all the other Necromunda gangs in Ash Waste, and eventually they'll all get vehicles. We've seen this massive tractor that's going to come out, and it looks absolutely gorgeous, this road train that we're finally going to get for 40K. But I'm wondering if the opposite is true. Can you play Ash Waste Wanderers in a standard game of Necromunda? I'm not sure I'm going to be able to suss out the answer without really getting into the book. This is just an unboxing, so I'm not going into all the details. I'm not even sure. Like, I'll be going through the book real quick. I don't want to show too many pages because I don't know how much I'm allowed to. But we will have a quick look at that. Obviously, we get a bunch of tokens. It's just one one sheet. Although there seems to be a lot of very ash waste specific tokens. Like I'm feeling these little trucks have to do with the ash waste. These seem to be like scanning markers. Obviously a bunch of wounds. So here's a little confession. I haven't really played this version of Necromunda. I have it. I've been planning to. There's some cheat sheets here. I have like Hive War has this absolutely great set of Delaques, like just basic set, basic gang. I want to get into it. I've got a color scheme, but I always seem to get sidetracked. And obviously, the same problem I'm going to get with Ash Waste. You want Necromunda, you want to have really good terrain, and that means I feel compelled to paint the terrain that comes in the box set, which it slows me down. Like, it's a huge time investment, but I really want to get into it. All right, so let me just go through this real quick, see what we've got. Like, obviously, oh, it's a massive crack. So, I mean, look at that. This is gonna be gorgeous once built. And obviously, you can create the ash wastes you want. That's one of the beautiful things about this hobby is the customizability of it. Like, you can stick to what you see, but you can also just kind of go wild. Just ran past the research of some of these tokens. Like I said, I'm not going to do like a rules review. You'll have to check out podcasts for that. But I want to see what lists we have. That's the unfortunate thing. I don't know the rules enough. I don't think that at a glance I'll be able to look at the games and say, oh yeah, you can play Psychers in Necromunda. Is this a thing that has always been, or are they adding this? And you have an Ash Waste campaign. You must have rules for the gangs. At least 2 gangs that you get in this box set. Sorry, there's a lot of dead air and it's boring. See, yeah, this is an Orlok game, so clearly you must be. Obviously, you can play the Orloks in the standard Necromunda. I'm not even sure these are different figs. So I don't see why you can play Nomads. Obviously, I don't think you can bring their little ticks in standard Necromunda gangs, but I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be able to play these guys. And maybe they specified it during the preview, and I just missed out because I was screaming loudly about wanting to paint insects. I'm a turn player, as I mentioned, so painting insects is close to my heart. The rest of the box is fairly standard run-of-the-mill things. You bases. These look like the bases for the ticks, which are smaller than the one for the buggies. I'm a little bit disappointed. The Hive War came with some textured bases for the magic terrain. We don't seem to be seeing that anymore in these boxes. It's a bit of a disappointment. I get it though. Ash Waste is just going to be sand, so a lot of people are going to want to keep this standard. We have the rule that nobody uses. I mean, I say that because I don't use it, but for all I know, a lot of people are very fond of them. And Necromunda dice set, which after a few boxes you have too many of. And my favorite part is when you get the tokens, the templates, you get little nibs of plastic that fell off the template screws. So, oh, and of course, the first thing I took out is this massive deck of cards, which I'm assuming are probably just from a quick look at the only card without opening the deck. I want to keep this close for time being until I read the rules and I know what I'm dealing with. But just from the nature of that one card, I think these are probably very Ash Waste specific as far as the game is concerned. So this is it. I say this is it, but this is an absolutely massive box of stuff. I love what I'm seeing. I don't know anything about what the price point is going to be. Usually Games Workshop does a fairly good job of making these boxes a very good deal, which, I mean, it's easy to complain about the prices for other models and kits. I'm never going to begrudge someone who thinks that perhaps Games Workshop is generally an expensive hobby. It is, but usually these box sets, the core box sets, are fairly good deals. So if this is a game that you want to get into, I don't think that so far I've seen quite as good of value in any other types of games. Like, I say it's value because I don't know what the price is, but like I said, just projecting from what we've seen in these boxes, they So that's it, guys. This was my unboxing of the Necromunda Ash Waste game from Games Workshop, coming out soon. It's, well, it might already be out depending on when you're watching this video. It is a monster of a box. I'm hoping that the game lives up to it. Everybody I know who plays Necromunda adores it. It's one of those games that is getting a lot of support and yet somehow flying right under my radar. I need to get into it. This is a question of painting the models, like I said, painting the scenery. Hopefully I'll be able to do more of these cool unboxings for you. I really love what I saw so far, and have a nice day. Enjoy your game.
If you enjoyed this video, please consider dropping us a like and subscribing. Thanks for watching. Materials shown in this video are provided fully or in part by Games Workshop for promotional purposes.